Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about the streaming wars, whether or not they're heating up, what is going on. ViacomCBS is going to be entering the fray with apparently a streaming service of their own. They're going to probably absorb CBS All Access into this new streaming thing, sort of like HBO Max. Showtime is going to get rolled into that. That's crazy. So now we're going to have, what, 5, 6 major streamers. On top of that, Warner Brothers and HBO Max are launching a studio dedicated just to make movies for the streaming service. Like, this is where everything is going. We talked yesterday about Star Wars, and the future of Star Wars is not in movie theaters, but it's going to be on Disney+. And it looks like Warner Brothers is going to try that themselves. They're going to try to make movies just for HBO Max, which currently looks to probably be the biggest potential competitor to Netflix, but with Viacom getting into it, with CBS, with Showtime, with MTV, Nickelodeon, and all these other channels, you know, this could wind up being a pretty cutthroat streaming war after all, and that's not even including NBC's Peacock, you know, cock and chill. We don't know what's going to happen with that. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're about 92,000 subs. We're less than 10,000 subs away, guys, from 100,000. Thank you so much for the support. So before we get into everything going on with Viacom and CBS All Access and HBO Max, there was a piece today about the streaming wars on The Verge, and they said it's more of a polite quarrel than an all-out war. They're talking about how Disney Plus has seen 28 million subscribers. Again, we're kind of wondering, you know, how many of those are legitimate and how many of those are actually just, you know, people getting free subscriptions. We don't know. We have no way of knowing because Disney will never tell us that. But Netflix is not taking the hit that people thought Netflix would take. Netflix actually did not drop off much at all. Now, they did lay some people off in the marketing department, but they're actually doing pretty good. They actually picked up quite a few subs overseas, if I recall. They're like 160, 170 million subs. They are by far the largest streamer in the world, and they're still picking up subscribers. So The Verge says, hey, the streaming wars are fun to think about. The drama writes itself. Right now, it feels like everyone's trying to take on Netflix. Analysts were worried about a stock drop. That did not happen. The only one that's probably been knocked out early is Apple TV Plus. Like, nobody's talking about Apple TV Plus anymore. They keep prompting me on my phone to subscribe to it, and there's literally nothing on it that I want to watch. So I haven't even bothered subscribing for free. You know, we all got new phones recently, and they gave us the option. I'm like, there's nothing I want to watch. I really don't care, and I don't think a lot of people care about what's going on with Apple TV Plus. So let's talk about Viacom. This is kind of interesting. So Viacom and CBS merged. They were, I believe, at one point one entity, and then they split off, and now they're back together again after the breakup. The thing is now they want to build off of CBS All Access, you know, that thing that's got Picard on it. Yeah, apparently it doesn't have a lot of subs right now compared to Disney Plus and Hulu and everything else. They have like 10 million, which is, you know, it's decent. It's decent, but it's been around a while. It's not really picking up steam like the other services. But now they're talking about, this is a rumor, they're talking about building off of CBS All Access. They're considering creating a service with advertisements that will combine CBS All Access with Viacom assets, including Pluto, Nickelodeon, BET, MTV, Comedy Central, and Paramount Pictures, said the people who asked not to be named because the product discussions are private. They're also talking about merging with Showtime. An ad-free version will also be available, and a premium version of the streaming service will include Showtime. ViacomCBS executives haven't decided on a name for the service nor a price, though the base service will probably be less than $10 a month. So now we're talking it's going to be HBO versus Showtime versus Disney Channel all over again. It's like it's 1985 again. It's like we're having the cable wars all over again. And I do see this happening with a lot of these streaming services. Like, why have 20 different streaming services when you can all, you know, throw in with whatever the Showtime CBS thing will be, and instead of having one for MTV and one for Nickelodeon and blah 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 blah. And that's probably what's going to happen with HBO Max. They'll probably just absorb Crunchyroll, absorb Rooster Teeth, absorb any of these, Verve, these other little streaming services, these niche services, and try to combine everything in one big colossal service that can hopefully take on Netflix. So the article goes on to say that ViacomCBS is in the awkward position of being simultaneously early and late to the streaming war. CBS launched All Access in October 2014. Seriously, I didn't think it was around that long. There's not much on it. For it being around, 5 or 6 years, there's not much on it other than a couple of crappy Star Trek shows and an ill-conceived Twilight Zone reboot. More than 5 years before Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Peacock, and HBO Max. But yeah, it hasn't picked up a lot of momentum. It's got 10 million subs. We actually had it at one point, canceled it because we didn't watch it. And then I actually picked it up again as an add-on on Amazon just to be able to watch Picard. I'm probably going to cancel again because Picard's kind of balls. So I'm not that impressed. But after merging on December 31st, the new company ViacomCBS has added heft to create a new streaming service that it feels can compete with the largest streaming products. Well, yeah, it has. I mean, it's got Nickelodeon. They've got MTV. I mean, years and years of MTV and Nickelodeon content. That could go head-to-head with Cartoon Network and some of the other stuff that they have on, on HBO Max. Speaking of which, HBO Max, Warner Brothers, launching a mini label to create streaming movies. So they put a press release out today. They're launching, what are they calling it? They're launching Warner Max. So this is just to create direct-to-TV, direct-to-streaming movies. The unit is designed to produce films for HBO Max, the upcoming streaming service owned by AT&T. And it is expected to make 8 to 10 films a year for the direct-to-consumer platform, which launches in May. So you have to wonder how many movies would have seen a theatrical release. Now they're going to be relegated to the streaming service, but that might actually not be a bad thing, because it seems clearer now that a lot of top-shelf entertainment is coming to streaming services, not the theater. Not the theater. It just, other than big tentpole franchises, is becoming less and less viable for a lot of movies that aren't sequels or reboots or remakes to survive in the theater. Maybe we'll see some, I don't know what we're going to see. I think we'll probably see a bunch of crap, but who knows? So they will carry a production budget of $30 million to $60 million, according to people familiar with the matter, who are not authorized to comment. So would Joker have been made for Warner Max under different circumstances? Because Joker was a $50 million movie. Maybe they would have thrown it on HBO Max or Warner Max because there was a lot of risk involved in that movie. They weren't sure how it was going to do theatrically. And I could see future movies like that. Maybe if they do like a realistic take on Two-Face or whatever down the road, they just throw it on the streaming service and don't even bother bringing it to the theater. But then again, Joker made $1 billion. So who knows? Okay, according to HBO Max, we're going to deliver a collaborative and lean process for talent, make a range of quality films, and provide a platform for each of them to have cultural impact. What does that mean? The division also allows Warner Brothers to hedge its bets on mid-budget movies, such as romantic comedies and adult dramas that have become less viable at the multiplex, which is what we're saying. Basically, the box office is for the big multi-million dollar tentpole franchises now. Yeah, which is interesting because the LA Times is actually saying movies with massive budgets are ironically now considered safer bets because they have the spectacle and brand awareness to make people want to see them on the big screen as soon as they're released. Yeah, and Disney's, they're definitely shoving every remake, sequel, reboot they can into the theaters, and they're kind of pushing other players out. So this might, level the playing field a little bit. Warner Max's creation comes as streaming services are growing hungrier for film content to draw and retain subscribers. They're talking about animation. Netflix has filled its services with romantic comedies, animated films such as Klaus and The Irishman and Marriage Story. All of those are, pretty top shelf productions. So just because it's on the streaming service doesn't mean it's going to be garbage, unless it's He-Man. So maybe, maybe He-Man is going to be hot trash. But I would like to see Warner Max, You know, if they're dealing with more risky kinds of movies, I would like to see them do more animation. I'd like to see Warner Animation give us, you know, movies like The Iron Giant. You know, that could be really, really cool. And that's something that's not viable, you know, in the theater, but might be viable on a streaming service. So maybe we'll see some really interesting stuff on Warner Max, on HBO Max. So yeah, you know, it's definitely heating up. You know, again, Disney Plus, I don't know if they're going to keep those numbers because there's really not much to watch on it after The Mandalorian. It's just a lot of old Disney stuff, but people are probably going to keep it anyway because it's Disney. We'll keep an eye on the situation with the streaming wars and, you know, kind of give our hot takes on it as it develops. But yeah, I think by this time next year, we're probably going to have like 10 of these damn services at 10 to 15 bucks a pop. Are you going to pay it or not? We'll talk later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.